one part of like the duo to the line. Miss Erika Hicks, are you available to take the call?
I am, Taina. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. The floor is all yours.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have your pen and piece of paper ready, or whether it be your notepad, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of information, but it's going to be useful information. So let's go ahead and move along. Hello and welcome everyone to Streamlining the Group Travel Booking for your cruise. Give me 1 second. See what happened to this here. All right. So the first thing, let me go back. I'm jumping ahead. So the first things first is you're going to need your welcome everyone to Google Sheets. The group travel. You're going to need Canva. And I know this seems like a lot, but promise me, I promise you, it's not as bad as it seems. And you're also going to be using Jotform and Adobe.
Streamline this process. Erica, I hear some background audio, like your voice recorder.
Jotform and Adobe Express. We are specifically going to start with Google Sheets because I do have a guide in Google Sheets for you guys to follow along. If you're not able to follow along today, as we go along, it's okay. Just make sure that you download the link so that you can refer back to it. This process may work for you whether you have just put together a group cruise that you're putting out to the public and you're wanting to put together a more streamlining process for your clients, and or if you have put together a group or you're going to put together a group cruise from a group lead who have chosen to go with a specific cruise line and an itinerary. So the first thing that you see, I want to point you to, is at the bottom of the screen is a link. That is the link where you are able to follow along. It's a guide step by step as far as how to pull this all together. So the first things first is you need to collect your contract after you have pulled together that selling that you want to advertise to your client. So pull that on out. And then, of course, afterwards, you want to head over to the supplier website. You're going to pull some high quality photos, okay? Now, the first one that you want to pull, or the first one or two that you may want to pull, is going to be of the cruise ship in destination if possible. If not, just try to get the cruise ship itself as far as to use as your main cover photo for what we're going to be using it for. Then, of course, you're still going to want to head to the site or stay at the supplier site so that you could get the stateroom description as well as the photo layouts of the staterooms. And you want to make sure that you save those to your computer, or you could just copy drag them into Canva, which is your next step going into creating a flyer to get that built up. I've already created a Canva link template that you could click on, and you could just basically just go in and edit to whatever your preference is. So Norwegian has it to where you I really like their platform. So I'm just going in and pulling out the high quality photos as I stated you are going to need. And if you can find one with the ship in destination, in which Norwegian do have those. So we're going to go ahead and download those. And you would do the same if it was, whether it was Virgin Voyages, Carnival, whatever cruise line it may be. Now I'm going back in and I'm actually going to be pulling from the deck plan. You are going to need the information for the staterooms. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm going in to pull the information. Deck plans and click on the tab where it says staterooms because I want to pull the information, the description of the staterooms that I actually have booked. So that's where I will need to reflect on the contract, exactly what I have booked, because there is all types of different categories and I don't have every category booked for this group travel cruise. So based on what my contract says on what I have blocked for the category, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find the category and I will go ahead and excuse me, go ahead and get the detailed information and also grab the photo of the floor plan. So if you click on that and you scroll over for Norwegian at least, this is how you can find it. Other cruise lines, as far as their sites, is somewhat similar but could be a little bit different. So I'm just going to copy that image and then I could go ahead and go to Canva and place it right in there. Or you can actually save it, it's up to you. I'm going to hop back over to my spreadsheet where I have my links at, because now that I have all the photos, I'm going to insert it in my Canva. And that is going to be where we are going to create a flyer in Canva where we're able to list all of the blocked off staterooms for our group. So with that link, when you click it, you will actually be able to come here and edit this template. So even if you are booking your group on a different cruise line, you'll still be able to use the same format with what type of cabin it is, what's the category, and then details as far as what it accommodates. So it's not going in too much detail, but it really has the nitty gritty as far as the information, what um, your client will need to know as far as if they decide to go ahead and choose that cabin, or depending on who they're staying with, and of course if it's in their budget. Also, what I like about this one as well, without me even going to the actual layout on Norwegian, it actually will give you the decks and the location that the specific category
is located. So that's another thing that I like about this particular cruise line as far as the features that it have for me to be able to have easy access to that without having to flip back and forth as far as trying to navigate and find out where and what. After you have updated your Canva flyer of the staterooms with the photos and all the, the good details and whatnot, you're going to come back to your instruction template with your links, and then you're going to move on to creating a web page using Adobe Express. And while that is loading up, let's go through the steps for what you will do in um, doing creating this web page. So of course, if this is your first time using Adobe Express, you will have to create an account and sign up if it's your first time. You are going to create from scratch a web page. I promise you it's not hard. And then you are going to name the web page Group Travel Staterooms or something similar to that. Doesn't have to be necessarily exactly the same, but I would keep it at that because again, this web page is specifically going to be for group travel staterooms. So let's flip back over here, and I just want to show you so you get an idea of why we're calling this web page group travel staterooms. And I already have one created, so let's go to my stuff, and I named mine Encore Group Staterooms. All right, so of course the first thing you're going to do is you're going to upload your cover photo. Yours won't look like this when you're doing it from scratch. There's no way to actually copy this template, or I would have for you guys, but that's okay. You're learning along the way as well. And it's very simple. Again, the first thing you're going to do is do your cover photo. You'll upload it in here and make sure it's a high quality photo that you're using from the supplier again. Then you are going to do your title, and I recommend that you use the cruise line and then the ship that you're selling on. And then your subtitle will be named Group Staterooms, or again, something similar, because this specific page is, and we are in editing mode. So just so you know. I did add a button here for a reserve your spot. You don't have to do that, but we'll go back to that. I'm going to scroll down here, and remember that flyer that we just created, or you just created. This is where you're going to upload it in here. This is actually a photo, and I have it in inline just in case if you have issues with the way how it looks. So if you try full screen, it's okay if you do full screen. Um, let's try a different one. Let's do window. Window, you're gonna mess your picture up if you do the window. And then if you do fill screen, um, you'll cut some of it off as well. So it's best to either do the full width or the inline. I'm gonna keep it at inline. All right, and then below that is going to be some more information, and just so we are following what I already have for instructions, I'm gonna hop back over here. So we went through create from scratch, naming it. One thing I did just skip was you're going to choose a theme. So you want to do that before you even go into editing anything, really. That way you know how it looks going into while you're creating it. To create your theme, it will automatically default to one for you, so you don't necessarily have to choose. But to create your theme or change your theme, you'll just click right up here at this little pin right here, and then you could choose from here. The one that I currently have is Storybook, but it's whatever floats your boat, whatever you like to choose, and it'll change it for you as you do it. So I'm leaving mine at Storybook because that's how I like it for this booking. And then let's hop right back over here. Again, we went through the cover photo. We went through the title of what you should preferably name it, the subtitle, and then following underneath that, we did put the flyer, which you just saw. So just make sure when you are downloading that flyer from Canva, make sure that it's downloaded in PNG. And just so you know what I'm talking about, if I go here and I'm just going to say edit template from that link, and it's already built for you. I've already created it. Um, you just need to go in and change it to what the details is that you need based on the selling. Let's close that out. All right, so based on this, I'm going to go to share, and then I'm gonna go to download, and then right here where it says file type. So it's best to have it on, keep it on PNG. If it doesn't default to that, make sure it's on PNG. I do have a pro account, but if you don't, you won't be able to increase the size of it as much or even make it transparent. Okay, and then you're going to just simply download it, and then it'll save to your files, and then you'll be able to upload it. So after that, after you get the flyer in there and upload it, underneath it, that's where you're going to add the details about the payment plan and deposit amounts along with the due dates. So let's scroll on back down. And right here is where I have it at. And all I did is just add a text box, and you're able to do heading 1 or heading 2. So for the smaller one, you want to use heading 2. You can always play around with it, but that's what you're going to do. So I have the deposit amount and the due date, and then I automatically recommend, monthly payments, and I chose the universal date, which is the 15th of every month. Now, this isn't going to be something that's automatically set up. However, I want my group to get the understanding I need reoccurring um, payments monthly, so we don't come down to the last minute and they can't either go on their cruise, and it's just a big headache. So um, if they can't do the 15th, then I'll work with them, I'll communicate with them out, and we'll figure out a date to get a payment process for them. But again, it's not going to be automatic. What will happen is there will be an invoice that I will have sent out where it's due on the 15th of every month for whatever amount that they would agree to. So this is going to be a conversation obviously you're going to have with um, your clients, and to figure that out. And so I just want to make sure that there is payment on the account monthly. And then there is going to be, of course, the final payment due date. I did not actually have the final due date based on the cruise line deadline. I actually backed it up a week. And so make sure you do the same so that you give yourself time to get stuff processed, and also for clients if something doesn't fall through. And then below that, I last but not least have a button for reserve your spot, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it. All right. you don't have to say reserve your spot. You could put something else, and then in the URL, you are actually going to be putting what we are going to be doing next. And over here, I specifically state, for you to add the button. And then you're just going to put for a space filler, www.example.com. It'll say example.com in there, but you'll actually have to type it in there just to save it as a button. And we'll come back to that, of course, afterwards. We're actually going into the next step of creating that job form. And I'm not going to make you go and create the whole thing. I have a template for that too, for you to copy, and you could just change it to your liking or what you need. So let's head down here to the next step, which is creating the group travel booking registration job form. So our next platform that we need, of course, is Jotform. And right here, I'm going to copy the template link, and we will go up there and paste it. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's a preview of it. One thing I do want to go into is um, streamlining, because a lot of times there's forms and agreements that we want our clients to fill out and just, be on the same page. So this template was based on having tabs up here at the top, and it actually will guide them versus just having to keep scrolling and scrolling, and then, the headache of that. So just to try to keep them engaged and have them aware of what to expect. So the first page is going to be like the welcome page. And again, this is going to be a template for the group booking registration. So this is again after, group lead has already chosen for this birthday cruising, agreed to it, and, got the cabins blocked off. And now I have that. We're getting it set up and on the road for the clients to be able to let us know what they want. Okay, so again, welcome page, letting them know that they need to follow the simple steps to complete their reservation. There's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and that's it. All right, now let's go ahead and go into and then contact information down here. And guys, I will not have these job form templates up here um, for long with the simple fact because some of my personal information is on here, not my client's information, but my personal information, which I'm okay with. I just don't want it up there too long. So with that being said, let's go ahead and exit this out. And I'm actually already have a form, so I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to create another one. So let's go ahead and go to my form, the group one. There we are. Let's edit it. All right, so you notice here at the top, you don't see the tabs, which is okay when you're in editing mode. So don't worry that the tabs are not there. If you double click, you will see you'll be able to come over here to advance, and if you go down to field details, you'll find a little bit more information. But what I want to do is come over here to properties, not properties, sorry. It's going to be widget settings. There it is. Okay, so widget settings, and the tabs that you saw are all going to be right here. So if you needed to add something or you didn't like the way how something was written out as far as the form of it, you could come over here and change it. You can't have it like side by side. It do have to be like in the up and down, how you see it here, in order for it to come up as a tab. And then you just click off of it and it will go ahead and do it. One other thing that I want to point out right here, how it's already set up, is right here where it says allow navigation without validation. And I have no. What I don't want is for my clients to be all confused because they decided to skim through and not read, or which they might do anyway, but I don't want them all over the place. So guess what? If they don't fill something out that's required, then guess what? They're not going to be able to go to the next tab, with the exception of the bypass of the welcome page. So just FYI. All right. Now we are going to go to the travel service agreement. And this is a tab itself for the travel service agreement. Of course, you are going to come in here and you're going to change your, and this is what I meant by my personal information, because my business number is here. And right here, so you're going to want to come in here and change your agency name right here. Don't leave it at mine. And then if you scroll all the way down, and if there's anything else, the language you want to change in here or add, do so. You're going to change that to the company, your company. And then right here is my signature. This right here is actually just a photo that I did on a white background. I did it from my phone, just a little background of a white screen. And then I edited with the pen. I have an iPhone, so I just drew my name with my finger, and then I saved the screenshot, cropped it, and then I sent it back to me to use on my computer by downloading it. And then so I just uploaded it in here. You can do that as well. If that's not something you want to do, it's fine, it's okay. Just make sure that you are changing this information here. Right here where it says by signature 41, and I will show you what that is. So where it says by signature 41, what's going to happen is whatever they sign here is going to input here once the form is submitted. So where you see these little symbols here embedded, that's specifically where stuff is going to be implemented based on the input. So for instance, let's see here. Actually, yes, so we'll stop there. All right, so I'm gonna double click here. And when you double click, this is how it comes up to edit. And again, all you gotta do is highlight and then type in whatever your agency name is right there. And then scroll on down. If you want to keep everything else, scroll on down again, change your agency name. And then right here is a photo. So you will definitely want to delete this. And then what you will do, I'm not going to delete that one for now. What you would do, the cursor's right here. So what you'll do is just scroll back up. And then right here is what you'll click to insert image. And then if you already uploaded the image in your files, you'll find it in My Images. If not, you will need to upload it. So that's how you would do that. And then make sure you hit save once you've updated anything in here for the paragraph. Now I'm back here in the paragraph because this is what I want to show you. So right here this is going to be the client signature. So if I highlight this right here, then I'm going to scroll back up. I want to embed that signature for when they sign. So anything you want to embed for the input of what the client does, you'll come up here to form field and then the title of what it is, which will be the signature. and it's there already. So that's how that works. And I'm going to save it. And then we'll move on. So after they've completed that, then they will do their travel profile. Now, right here, I call this the Journey Traveler card. You could call it something different for your agency, but this is the best thing I came up with um, as far as a easy access to tie things together to my clients. So what this is a, let me go to properties. There we go, widget settings. Okay, so this widget right here is the random value generator. So it automatically will generate a code based on the submission for it. So this is what I plan on, or not plan on, this is what I use um, for this group cruise for the travel. So I tie that to them as far as their referral or reference number if something comes up. Same thing on a uh, booking, on an invoice. Okay, maybe you have somebody paying for someone else travel, of course, within the credit card authorization form. You're going to put all the good information, but if they're paying for somebody else, well, guess what? I need to know that person journey traveler card number. So, and they'll get that, they'll know that. So, um, and again, that's not something they input, it randomly will do that. And then, of course, the good information, their name, phone number, address, email, birth date, anniversary date. Now, this is the only thing that I did not make mandatory just because everybody's not married, of course. I did do shirt size. I did make that mandatory only because for my groups, I always like to do t-shirts, and it's something that I'm able to do for a little on a dime because I have the machine. All I have to do is purchase the material. I could do shirts depending on the design, maybe for about $5 a shirt, $5, $6 a shirt. So I think that's pretty decent as far as gifting for my client. Then is, of course, passport information, all that good stuff. And then I also have in their travel profile is their home airport, their airline preference, their cabin class preference, and also their check-in options preference. And that's specifically tied to, of course, the airline as well. And the cabin class is specifically going to be for airlines as well. So if later on we add on airfare, I know what to look for based on the preference of my client. I'm not having to go back and forth trying to figure out the best option for them when I can automatically go to the best option that, of course, they want. So, and then below that, this is still going to be in the same tab for the travel profile. So it'll all be tied to their profile. Is the loyalty program. So the only thing that they're going to see specifically for, because this is a specific group cruise form, the only thing they're going to see is Norwegian Cruise Line. So this is where they're going to enter their cruise line latitudes rewards number here. Now I have more listed here, but that again, they won't see it on the form. Reason being is because I don't want to have to go back and re-add it every time. All I have to do is, and I'm going to show you, or you have to do is, let's say for instance, okay, this cruise is a MSC cruise. Let's go to properties, and then right here, let me scroll down. I think it's in advance. Yeah, it's in advance. Advance, yep. So in advance, and then scroll down, and then where it says hide fill is on, you'll just turn it off. And then it'll be available for your client to input their rewards number with that cruise line. And same thing for the, I am gonna turn it back on. Uh-oh, I hit shrink. Okay, let's hide this field. Hide it, because remember I don't want it on because this is a specific booking, but for yours it may be totally different. Um, let's keep scrolling. Airlines I have off right now, so they won't see that. Same thing with hotels, car rentals as well. But again, you can always turn it on. I just showed you how to turn it on. That way you're not having to always go in and delete or turn on, depending on what it is. So you could just create it based on whatever the liking is. The next tab after the travel profile is going to be travel preferences. Now, I know you think this may be tied to travel profile, but it's not, considering this is specifically for group travel. The travel preferences for this specific group reservation form is specifically for this specific travel. So I've included the photo here. So what you'll do is remember that Canva photo that you downloaded in PNG. You'll upload it here, so you'll just replace the photo. And if you click on it and delete it, remove it, all you got to do is just come over here and add form element, scroll on down to photo, image, and then click on that and it will add it. If it added it somewhere you did not want to add it, you could just simply click on it and drag it to where you want it at. And I need to move that back down. Uh-oh, okay. There we go. Did I get it? Nope. Okay. Scroll that back up. Oh my, it's giving me the blues. Let's see. Gonna go up now. There we go. All right, finally got it. Okay, so just change your photo, and then right here, how many will occupy your stateroom? Again, this is travel preference based on this particular group travel. Um, so how many will be staying in their stateroom? What stateroom would they like to reserve? And right here, this, you're going to have to edit this based on whatever category and whatever your um, stateroom name is that you have blocked off. So again, you can refer back to these and or your contract, and you can just copy and paste that way. So it's up to you. After that is a question, and if you see these little red asterisk marks, that means it's a requirement for them to fill out. So after that is asking, will they need any assistance or an accessible room during their journey? Um, so that's great. They could put, I'm making them answer yes or no. So instead of just leaving it blank. Okay. And then what location do you prefer? This is again for this group travel. So it is a cruise, of course. So either the aft, mid, or forward. And then I don't ask for the decks. However, they kind of get a little sense of what's available for the decks as far as based on what they choose, just in case if I have somebody requesting something that isn't offered. So if that makes sense, but at least I could give them somewhere close based on where they would like. So after that, I do have them list the names that will occupy their stateroom here, if any. This isn't required, just in case if I just have a single occupancy, which is fine. Um, and they could reach out to me for that as well. And then the final tab is the travel insurance. Terms and conditions. Now this one here, it links directly to Norwegian travel insurance page. And I highly recommend you do the same for whatever cruise line that you do versus trying to retype the options and all that as well. It makes it so much simpler. And then I offer them, insurance. Typically, you always do want to include it in the quote. However, this one I called in and had them do, and it was a long, drawn out. So I just went with it, which was fine. However, when I get ready to birth the rooms, I will be birthing with full deposits to birth them. So that's something I'll be able to send the invoice for anyway after I get that done to get it added on. So I'm not worried about that. And it's a good group as far as they've cruised before, so no issues there. But it is their first time cruising with me, so that's a plus on my side. All right, so that is that. I'm gonna hop right back over to our travel template instruction. All right, so we have completed the group booking registration job form. As far as that, you, of course, make any necessary adjustments as needed. In the publish tab in the job form, there is something that I do want to go over. Right here where it says publish, you are going to copy that link and you're going to head back over to Adobe Express. And remember, you're going to embed that. You're going to paste that link you just copied. You're going to copy it in there and then you're going to save. And that way, when they see it, it will take them directly to that form for that submission. Another thing in your form builder is under settings is your thank you page. And this is something that you don't have to do. Well, you really do have to do it because I'm sure you don't want your clients contacting me. So right here on your thank you page, you'll need to go ahead and switch out, of course, the name, your business hours, if they are different from mine, of course, the phone number, email, and then, of course, your logo. So make sure you change that out and you'll be good to go. Other than that, that's what they will see after they submit that form. So make sure you change out your thank you form. Alrighty. So again, that was for your group travel booking registration form. And you would have already uploaded that to your Adobe Express for that. All right, for your staterooms. Okay, so the last couple steps, I will say, the last big step, I will say, is your next web page. So you're going to do a new web page and you're going to create from scratch. And because I already have this one, I am going to go ahead and bring mine up. All right, while that is, there we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to be doing is creating our new web page. And this one is specifically going to be like the pins and needles that pretty much hold it all together from the front end. All right. So again, you're going to go through the same steps you went through from the last one. You're going to choose your theme, choose your cover photo. As you can see, you're going to see I used the same cover photo because I kind of wanted everything to flow. Um, so I used that. You're going to use your title, the heading over the cover photo, whatever your group name is. All right. And then you're going to do the subtitle underneath it, selling to, and then the destination and the year it's selling. If you want to do something different, fine, it's yours, make it your own, it's okay. After that, you're going to then give an introduction of where they are selling from or about the cruise journey itself. And this is something you could copy and paste from the vendor site based on that selling. So let me go to mine that I already have created. All right, so there's my title, the group name, and then my subtitle, of course, Selling to Alaska, July 2025, and then the introduction of where they are selling from. So kind of getting their feet wet before they get ready to go on the cruise as far as what they could do. Because, we don't want them coming in the day of. We want them to come in the day before. Anything can happen. All right, below that, I do have a photo, which I, of course, took from the site, the vendor site, and just uploaded on here. And then a little information, not too detailed over here, just letting them know that it's a 7-day cruise on the Region Core, the ship, and it's 5 ports of call and where it's cruising from. All right. And then below that, you are going to include what's included. All right. So stateroom selection. And then, of course, you're going to insert a button. You just hit that plus button and then you'll, select button. And how it looks, I'm going to hit the edit one. You'll name it whatever you want, something similar or the same. And then the URL is going to be your group travel stateroom web page. That's the first one that you created. So you'll have to copy that and bring it back over here. In order to make that URL go live after you're complete with it, you're just going to hit share. And since mine is already published, it's already published, but you could just hit publish to web right here and it'll do it. And then it'll give you a link. You'll copy it and that's what you'll use for your other one. And then you'll insert that link here. And then when you're done with this one, you'll do the same thing as far as to get your link. And then something I do include is a swag bag and t-shirt. And t-shirt, because I am doing t-shirt, I include that in the travel profile, so I'm not having to go back later and ask for that as well. The captain's dinner, and then what's recommended, and a 1-hour cocktail celebration as well. I mentioned what's not included, of course, travel insurance, but I also mentioned that it can be added on, leaving no money on the table. And then also their round trip airfare from their home departure airport is not included. Um, and of course, to Seattle Airport. But I still let them know that it can be added on as well. The transportation to and from cruise port, not included, but also could be added. Excursions, of course, but it can also be added. And then, of course, service fees and gratuity, which is not included. Now, their port fees are included in their fare, depending on what they choose. I didn't put that up there. I honestly didn't think I needed to. Um, yeah, I didn't think I needed to put that was included in there. I'm just letting them know what's not included. But if you wanted to put that there, you could. The Haven amenities and services, I specifically wanted to put that one up there because the last thing I want is someone to be upset about not even to be able to walk the walls of the hall of the Haven. And if they don't book that category, they can't even get on that level, the elevator. So I made sure I put that there's not included the amenities or the services. However, I do let them know that they can upgrade to a Haven stateroom category for those amenities and services as well. And then below that, I do have a click here to start your group booking process, and this link will take them directly to the jot form for the group travel reservation that we just completed in jot form. And that's where you will paste that link there. And again, the process, the steps are in this template here for the instructions. So if I'm going too fast or you're afraid that you might miss something, it's here for you to refer back to. I will have the link up for you guys. Just keep in mind that you do want to, at least the ones with the templates from Jotform, you do want to at least get those and save those, make a copy of it before I do remove it, because I will not keep those up considering that I have some of my business information on it. And then the cruise itinerary overview, this is where I go into detail a little bit more and break it down. And I do it with photos, of course. So you will want to keep it somewhat similar. Again, the web pages are not, I'm not able to do a template like it to make it simple, but I did at least want to show you how to accomplish the same look so that it's seamless for your clients. After going through the itinerary, I do talk about the embarkation and the disembarkation. Another button for them so they don't have to scroll all the way to the top. I put another button for them to go ahead and book their travel for the registration. Below that, another link for them to view the staterooms. Maybe they weren't sure. So there's a link there. And then below that, they're able to explore dining options, the bars, lounges, entertainment information. Um, and this link will take them directly to Norwegian. And then below that, of course, contact information for any questions, concerns here by phone number and or email. And it also lists my business hours. So don't forget to put your business hours as well. So that completes a walkthrough of the last Adobe Express web page. The last thing that you are going to want to do is your credit card authorization form. So let's say, okay, cool. They came here to, let me go to preview. Okay, so the site is live. I'm in the preview mode though. Let's say they came here, they looked at all the information, and they viewed the stateroom rates, and they're like, okay, I know which one I want. And they go ahead and they say, I'm ready. So they click here, and remember those tabs I stated. So it lets them know the steps, okay? And then we're going to go to next, travel agreement, and I'm just going to zoom by this. I'm going to say, yes, I agree. I'm going to sign, next. And then this, again, it will automatically populate. Name, There we go. All right. Address. And then email. And again, this is the client profile. If I scroll back, it'll tell you where they're at. And then after that's completed, it'll take me to the travel preferences. Anniversary date, that's not required, so I'm gonna skip that. Now you see if I try to go to the next field from a requirement, it it, it gives the error. So let's go ahead and go back and select what I'm doing good. I'm in an Excel, not an XXL. Thank God. Doing good, y'all. All right. Just put something there for the passport number. I'm just going to put that. Okay. Date issued. And I'm just selecting something for the sake of time. Female, of course. Ooh. And I'm just going to select something. Well, I'll just go with this one. It's more simple. Okay. I'll just put Delta, cabin, class, check-in. And then remember I mentioned loyalty programs. Because this form is specifically for this group cruise, I only have this one available. So where they're able to see it. So if yours is different, you would just disable this one and put the other one in. All right, so now I'm at the travel preferences for, and I'm just going to select something. I'm going to do 2 because these rates are based on 2, but they still can select 1. How many there is being occupied. Let's do mini suite. No. Mid. And here's my 2 names. All right. And last but not least, insurance. Just going to say, yes, I accept and submit. And there's my thank you page. So after your client goes through this, your next step is, of course, after you receive the inquiry as far as what they want, you want to go ahead and get that invoice together. And you want to send out that credit card authorization form. And I have a template link for you for the credit card authorization form. And you'll come over here and you'll edit it to your needs. All right, so this is the preview how it looks. Alrighty. since I already have one, I'm not going to create another one. I'm actually going to go to one that I already have. Alrighty. So again, this is a group travel credit card authorization form. You could change it if it's just one individual trip to whatever liking, but based on, here we go again. So say if you have more groups in here, you could do that however many. So if it's the same cruise line itself for like the region, but different sellings, you could put quite a few of them in there. Um, for the client to select. And then of course they're going to have to include their Journey Traveler card number. If that's something you're not planning on doing, make sure you remove it from that form on the travel group registration form. And then also remove it from this one too if you don't plan on using it. Now, if you do plan on using it, what you need to do is when you send that invoice out, make sure that you include their Journey Traveler card number on there. That way they know what to reference. And they can't say, well, I don't know what it is. Um, you'll know what it is because based on what the submission is, it'll show on there what the number populated. So you'll have to include that on their invoice. And so when they come over here for their form, they'll have to input that number, and I have it set for 6 digits anyway, so they should only be putting in 6 digits. Over here, their invoice number, and I'm just putting something in there. All right, email, and I'm gonna say I'm doing a deposit. This one's not mandatory here, so I'm gonna leave that blank. That's only for other. And then please select card type. Let's say Discover, and then a name. And then look, they're not putting the full card number because we still got to be PCI compliant. They're still only putting the last 4 digits. All right, we're still going to make that phone call and get the full number to process the payment. All right, and let's do 25, and we'll just make up CVC code. Okay. Alrighty. And the amount, deposit amount per person is 150, so I'm just going to do 150. And as you can see, it automatically populates it here for the authorization. If I remove it, remember those form fields I went over with earlier? So as you type it, it'll automatically embed it in there, and the same thing here. The invoice number, it'll put it here, and then sign, date, submit. All right, so after that, after the credit card authorization form, it brings up this right here, which is please click here to upload your credentials to show how you are authorized to use this card. You could change it to something different. That's just something I put there. All right. This is where they're going to come and upload their ID. All right. Now, the reason why it's not on the other form tied to it, there's technical reasons for that. But that's okay. But we want this one separate from that. It still be tied to it, but we want it separate from that because we need this to be encrypted. They're sensitive information, and this one is going to be encrypted. All right, so we'll select the type of the ID, and then let's upload. Let's see. All right, here we go. And it's uploading. And we're good. We'll go ahead and submit that. And that's that. And all you have to do is process payment after you've confirmed. And that is that. All right. So again, the whole process of the steps are going to be here under this URL, tinyurl.com/group travel reservation process. Again, make sure you go ahead and any job form links that have templates, please go ahead and get the links and save them to your account, your job form account, because I will not leave those templates up long, maybe for a week, if that. Um, if not, you'll have to recreate yourself that template. And then same thing, I'm not worried about the Canva one, but definitely the job form ones, they won't be up as long. Once you get the template and you save it, clone that template. That way, if you mess up something on one, you always have the default one to go back to and clone again. So make sure you do that as a help. All right, so I hope that helped. So how much do it cost to use these platforms? You can use them for absolutely free, or if you choose, you can upgrade your account to a paid subscription, but you don't have to. How long will it take you to create? I would say for your initial setup, set aside 2 hours total for it. However, if you're going to recreate it, it's not going to take as long once you get the process and you get it set up. All you have to do is simply duplicate just a few things from what you've already created. For instance, you would need to create 2 Adobe pages, and you could simply duplicate that from your last one. You don't have to do it from scratch. And then your Canvas staterooms flyer, you just duplicate that as well and make the necessary changes. Same thing applies for your job form group registration. Has already been created. Just make the necessary changes. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel. At this time, if you do have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat box. I will not be able to answer them personally today. However, if you do have any, again, put them in the chat box. I will follow up with the answers to your questions at a later time, and that will be located in the elite group if you do have any questions in regards to this training. I do want you to know there is absolutely more than one way of doing things. However, this is my way of doing it, and I hope that you're able to implement it and it is a easy process for you and it works for your clients as well. Thank you again. I'm turning it back over to our host, Taina Wallace. The floor is all yours again.
Oh my gosh, guys. As I said at the beginning of the call, we talked about a corporate trainer and how you did not want to miss this information. Drop in the chat what your favorite part of the training was, or what was the most valuable information that you're taking away. For me, it was the part where you create the Journey Traveler card, Erica. Oh my God, that's a game changer. Talk about being able to scale your business. That's going to be amazing. Create it now so that you can use it when you're scaling. But again, as Erica said, let's go ahead and put some thank yous in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat and she will answer them offline, off the call for you guys. Yes, Erica is the best. I try not to miss any of her trainings. Such a comprehensive training. I'm just gonna leave 2 more minutes for questions, a minute and a half. If you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat so that we can get Erica to answer those offline, okay? Again, we want to thank you so much for taking the time, Erica, to share that information with us from start to finish, the life cycle of booking your group cruise. And we can drop some hearts and thank yous in the chat as well for Erika. And we'll wait 1 more minute for any questions. This training is recorded. It will be posted. Give us a few days to get it posted up to the YouTube page. Okay, everyone. And with that, we'll go ahead and close out the meeting. Thank you again for joining. Thank you again to Erika Hicks and everyone for taking the time out to join us today. And on behalf of our 1-Star Platinum, Ms. Nina Jackson Mitchell, this webinar is officially closed. Have a good Sunday and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, everyone.